Antigo. Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more Los Angeles Lakers news, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. The Lakers will need perfect planning to have a better and more deep roster. To get another star, they will need to let go of Austin Reaves, who despite being a great player, was terrible in the playoffs. Postseason rumors: the Lakers want to sign Giannis Antetokounmpo and create the best duo in the NBA and be champions next season. The Lakers could improve their championship odds this summer by completing a blockbuster trade for an electric Eastern Conference All-Star. Giannis Antetokounmpo is set to make $54.1 million next season, and the Lakers are just $4.3 million under the first tax apron without a full roster, Lake Show Life's Tyler Watts wrote Tuesday. LA does not want to send out more than they get back to prevent from being hard-capped at the first apron. This deal likely involves a third team, but the Lakers would effectively part with following to get Giannis. The Lakers have whoever they select with their 2025 second-round draft pick to add to this package. It is light on draft capital for the Bucks, who don't own for their draft selections until 2031. Because of that, Milwaukee may try to contend without Giannis. Austin Reaves would be a borderline all-star in the East with 4 solid role players joining him from LA. Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, Dalton Knecht, and Maxi Kleber could all be pieces that help the Bucks reach the postseason in 2026. Watts' trade proposal would send Reaves, Hachimura, Vincent, Knecht, Kleber, a 2031 first-round pick, and 4 first-round swaps to the Bucks for Antetokounmpo. Antetokounmpo shouldn't be a Buck once the 2025-26 season commences. The 9-time All-Star's tenure with Milwaukee will always be highlighted by his successful 2021 playoff run with the organization that ended with a championship. However, things have gotten stale since then, which should lead to a blockbuster off-season trade involving the 6'11" athletic freak. Reaves has been solid in the postseason thus far, but his subpar on-ball defense, slow offensive starts, and unaggressive nature in pivotal moments would give the Lakers valid reasons to move on from him in free agency. Antetokounmpo's brute strength and fluid athleticism, LeBron James' remarkable IQ and body control at high speeds, and Luka Doncic's earth-shattering playmaking from the most essential position in basketball, point guard, would make it challenging for opposing teams to defend nightly. Antetokounmpo, who averaged 33.0 points and 15.4 rebounds during the playoffs, could spend the next leg of his career with the Lakers. Austin Reaves finishes 5th in Most Improved Player voting. After the best season of his career, Austin Reaves earned a spot in the top 5 in Most Improved Player award voting. As has been the case throughout his relatively brief career, Austin Reaves had another career season for the Lakers this year. Since he came to LA, Reaves has been on a steady upward trajectory in terms of production, peaking so far this season by averaging 20.2 points per game, a career-high mark. He also added career highs in assists, 5.8, and rebounds, 4.5, as he made the leap from solid role player to budding star for the Lakers. His jump did not go unnoticed either. While Reaves did not win the Most Improved Player award announced on Wednesday, Dyson Daniels of the Hawks earned that honor. He did finish 5th, receiving 3 first-place votes. Admittedly, there is a significant drop between Cade Cunningham and Christian Braun to Reaves. And as shown by the fact that 10 different players received first-place votes, it's a very subjective award, too. Recently, head coach J.J. Redick somewhat discussed the award, though it was more about his disdain for the way it's given out. "I hate that award because they failed to define it," Redick said. "And I think the spirit of it has been taken out of wax. I don't like that award. Just call it the high draft pick that is on a max contract and now is an all-star. Just call it that award. Who's that guy? Because that's what it's become. I don't think that's the spirit of the award." It's also nice to see a former baby Laker in Ivica Zubac finishing 2nd in voting. Does it bring up bad memories of one of the worst trades in Lakers history, recency bias included? Yes. But you can still be happy for him. "I wasn't good enough." LA Lakers star wants people to point the finger at him amid guarantee for next season. A regular season that promised so much for the LA Lakers has ended in a whimper, the Minnesota Timberwolves sending them home in just 5 games. The 96-103 loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves at home was the final nail in the coffin for the Los Angeles Lakers, who flailed but ultimately looked second best in every department. The soul-searching will be brutal because they're left plenty short of where they wanted to be, and finger-pointing has already begun. One Lakers star has pointed the finger at himself and made a guarantee for next season, albeit it remains to be seen if he will be here at all next season. LA Lakers wasn't good enough. The Lakers' elimination will have Nico Harrison probably smiling because, for all the noise around the Luka Doncic trade, the Lakers have gone only one step ahead of the Mavericks this season. Doncic played a lot of minutes, and so did LeBron James, as J.J. Redick's trust in his role players wavered and then finished completely in the 4th game of the series. Naturally, the star players will cop a lot of flack, but another Lakers man ascended into that territory after the regular season, so he will be scrutinized as such. Austin Reaves, the Lakers' 3rd star based on this season's performances, came up brutally short when the lights were at their brightest, and he's taken responsibility for his showing. He said, "I didn't have the series that I wanted to have. You can point the finger at me. I wasn't good enough to help us be successful. I wish I could have done more. I didn't. I struggled. You live and you learn, and I guarantee that I'll get back to work this offseason and be better." Austin Reaves' uncertain future with the LA Lakers. Reaves' statement is that of a player determined to improve and make an impact next time out, but the manner of the Lakers' elimination speaks volumes too. Had they fallen closer to the final hurdle, some marginal moves to improve the roster could have been justified. As it stands, the Lakers' top brass might think that they need a fundamental addition to the team, especially in the interior, to buff up the defense they lost with Anthony Davis. In that scenario, Austin Reaves' regular season exploits might work against him because he's the only eminently tradable piece for the Lakers outside of their superstar duo who is untouchable. Currently, a Reaves trade for length and physicality at the center position will look extremely attractive to the Lakers, who got bullied by the likes of Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert in the paint. Reaves might well be better next season after working hard in the offseason, but that leap might have to be taken in another team's colors. The reverberations of this brutal exit will be felt for a while. The Lakers already tried to trade Dalton Knecht once. The Lakers have been a whiplash-inducing team to follow this year, but just imagine how Dalton Knecht feels. The rookie was considered by many, LeBron included, to be the steal of the 2024 draft. He lit up the preseason, then came on strong with a magical couple of weeks in November when he finally got an honest chance to crack the rotation. Knecht fell out of favor after Dorian Finney-Smith and his superior defense arrived to take away his minutes. And other than a solid stretch when the Lakers were severely injury-depleted earlier this spring, he hasn't made his mark like he or the team hoped he would. Pelinka even packaged him in a trade for Charlotte Hornets center Mark Williams at the deadline, which created the cut the awkwardness with a chainsaw effect of sending him right back to the team that just traded him after the deal was rescinded due to Williams failing his physical. This was the basketball equivalent of saying, "CK," after breaking up with someone, but to Knecht's credit, he didn't create any drama about being jerked around. Still, the fact that he has 2 DNPs and has played only 4 minutes in this series show that he should still probably be renting instead of diving headfirst into the California real estate market. The Lakers are going to be making moves this summer, and Knecht could very well end up as part of a package for another center. Hopefully this time it will be for someone who can pass a physical. Jackson Hayes has gone from post-AD savior to completely expendable. In a season that's been full of surprises, there may be none bigger than the shock of seeing the Lakers play high-end defense after trading away 5-time All-Defensive Team member Anthony Davis. That can't all be attributed to Jackson Hayes, who became a starter after AD went to Dallas, but he certainly contributed to LA's unlikely stinginess. Hayes-inspired play once made it seem like he might end up pricing the Lakers out of signing him when he becomes an unrestricted free agent this summer, but that seems like a long time ago now. His minutes have been falling for weeks, and even though the Lakers are without both Christian Koloko and Trey Jemison III for these playoffs, that's done nothing to stop his playing time from bleeding away. In what seems like J.J. Redick's attempt at a Nathan Fielder-level comedy bit, Hayes has still been starting in these playoffs, but that's about all he's been doing, because he's pulled off the rare feat of starting every game yet never reaching double-digit minutes in any of them. The Lakers are probably wishing that they went through with the Williams deal, because Hayes doesn't have the bulk or the physicality to be anything more than a traffic cone against the Timberwolves. Regardless, they'll definitely be in the market for a new center this offseason, and with the way that Hayes has become persona non grata, there seems to be no way that he'll return even as a backup. Gabe Vincent's contract will be needed if the Lakers hope to trade for a bigger name. J.J. Redick's complete lack of faith in his bench makes it seem like a clean sweep of Lakers reserves could happen this offseason. Markieff Morris, Shake Milton, and Alex Len should already have their bags packed, but the upcoming purge could extend to Gabe Vincent as well, because unlike the aforementioned trio, he actually makes a good bit more than the minimum salary. Vincent's $11.5 million salary and expiring contract will be a necessary part of any semi-major to major deal Pelinka tries to swing this offseason. Maxi Kleber has a nearly identical salary, but his status as buddy of Luka should keep him safe as Pelinka also attempts to lock down his new star on a long-term deal. Vincent won't be so fortunate. He could very well end up as part of the same package as Connect if the Lakers try to trade for a center rather than sign one in free agency. Either way, Pelinka will need to make room to accommodate what promises to be a much bigger cap figure than Hayes currently has, whether it be from Brook Lopez, Clint Capella, or Miles Turner in free agency, or a trade for someone like Nick Claxton, Walker Kessler, or Robert Williams III. The Lakers may be on life support, but they aren't quite dead yet. So maybe this is putting the cart before the proverbial horse. This premature obituary will seem funny if the Lakers are able to do what only 4.5% of teams that get down 3-1 have been able to do and come back to win the series. Either way, all of the above should still be true whenever the offseason begins. LeBron James press conference, Lakers star says we'll see about retirement after postseason exit. The Lakers' push for postseason glory came to a close on Wednesday night, as Los Angeles dropped its Game 5 matchup against the Timberwolves, 103-96, spelling an end to its season. The Lakers were felled by a number of factors. Their lack of size put them at the mercy of Rudy Gobert, who posted the fifth-ever 20-20 game in Minnesota's playoff history. Meanwhile, Los Angeles' stars were largely blighted by the Timberwolves' dynamic duo of Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle. LeBron James and Luka Doncic had their moments, but they looked weary and fatigued as the series wore on, particularly in its final two games. James tallied 22 points on 9 of 21 shooting, while Doncic's 28-point outburst was scuppered by a fairly inefficient 7 of 18 shooting line. Unsurprisingly, the Lakers' exit brought about plenty of speculation. Chief among the post-game mayhem was James' future. Los Angeles' longest-tenured player is 40. And, save for Game 3 and Game 4 flourishes, he looked every bit his age against Minnesota's spry and sprightly roster. So, what's next for James in 2025 and beyond? Here's what he had to say about his future prospects following the conclusion of Wednesday night's match. LeBron James post-game press conference. James batted away questions regarding his short-term and long-term futures on Wednesday night, telling reporters he's uncertain about what his next steps will be. When queried on how much more he has left in the tank, James was non-committal. "I don't have an answer to that," James said post-game. "Something I'll sit down with my family, my wife, and my support group and kinda just talk through it and see what happens. Just have conversations with myself on how long I want to continue to play." There are plenty of reasons for James to make a triumphant return to the floor in 2025-26. He'd get another chance to share the court with his son, Bronny, an opportunity he dubbed as the greatest accomplishment of his basketball career to date. "To be able to play the game that I love and to be able to be along with my son this whole year has been one of the most gratifying and satisfying journeys I've ever been on. He has a bright future. Because not only can he play the game of basketball, he's just a great kid. And I have to say, I have a lot to do with that." James also could net upwards of $50 million in contract riches next season, and the Lakers stand to move some furniture around in 2025-26, with the organization expected to make moves in the hopes of crafting a roster more amenable to Doncic, and, by proxy, James' needs. James, who was tasked with manning a sort of surrogate big man role without a proper center in the lineup, appeared intrigued by the prospect of some alterations, although he stopped short of calling for them himself. After all, he remembers what happened when Anthony Davis requested some reinforcements in the paint.